In many ways, 1989 was a remarkable year. It marked the fall of the Berlin Wall and the rise of the long-running animated TV series The Simpsons. Additionally, for the gaming community, we witnessed the release of a significant handheld console, the Nintendo Game Boy. Speaking of the gaming community, we also witnessed a plethora of great games for the Commodore 64. In this video, we'll explore my personal favorite games from 1989. I've compiled a short list of 20 great games, and we'll conclude with my personal top 5. Welcome to 1989. Let's start with Speedball by Imageworks. Long before the era of FCEA, this game is set in a distant future where the favorite ball game is speedball. While it might bear some resemblance to football, or soccer, if that's your preferred term, speedball is played in a more intense, violent, and high-speed format. The objective is to score points by throwing a heavy ball into the opponent's goal while also trying to incapacitate and injure members of the opposing team. Next up is Citadel, a slow-paced shoot-'em-up with puzzle elements. Players control a hover drone called Monitor, maneuvering it in 4 directions, firing in 8 directions, and using a capture probe for tasks like item retrieval and drone control. The game features various enemy types, each with unique attack patterns. While exploring cities with connected floors, players deactivate beam generators and strategically navigate to the exit. Speaking of puzzles, the next game transports players to a magical, adventurous world. As a wizard, your mission is to assist a magic sphere in reaching the exit of each level, thus aiding in the world's salvation from the Dragon Murgle. You, as a wizard with magical powers, can manipulate the appearance and disappearance of obstacles to guide the sphere in the right direction. However, be cautious of ghosts and other enemies. We'll continue in the magical world with Myth, History in the Making. In this game, a teenager from the 1980s falls through a tear in the space-time continuum and lands in the time of legends. Here, he must defeat the Dark Angel of Time to return to his own era. Armed with an enchanted sword, the player must vanquish Dameron and all his minions in this 2D platform game. Still in the world of adventures, we'll explore Rainbow Chaser from Commodore Disk User. This classic arcade-style platform game requires you to collect rainbows and other objects. With its colorful graphics and straightforward gameplay, Rainbow Chaser promises an enjoyable gaming experience. Now back in the present time, 1980s that is. We find ourselves on Earth, embarking on a thrilling mission with one of the world's most renowned spies, James Bond. In License to Kill from Denmark, you'll step into the shoes of James Bond, armed and ready to save the world. As the iconic secret agent, your mission is to eliminate a host of enemies and thwart their sinister plans in this action-packed shoot-'em-up game. With high-stakes espionage, thrilling action sequences, and a touch of classic James Bond intrigue, License to Kill offers players an immersive experience in the world of espionage and danger. After venturing through space, the dawn of time, magical realms, and even stepping into the shoes of James Bond, sometimes you just need some good old-fashioned arcade fun. And what could be better than a game of pinball? 3D Pinball from Mastertronic lets you enjoy the classic game of pinball in the comfort of your very own Commodore 64. In the New Zealand story by Ocean, a Kiwi tribe is kidnapped by the evil leopard seal, but Tiki, the tribe leader, manages to escape. Her mission is to rescue the scattered Kiwis from various locations across New Zealand, facing challenges such as time limits and enemy attacks, with boss battles in some cities. This game is a faithful adaptation of the original coin-operated arcade classic. If you decided to take a gaming break and visit the cinema, you had the opportunity to enjoy a lot of fantastic movies. Here are a few notable ones. Batman. Tim Burton's 1989 Batman film redefined the superhero genre, with Michael Keaton's portrayal of the Dark Knight and Jack Nicholson's iconic performance as the Joker. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. This action-adventure film sees Harrison Ford reprising his role as Indiana Jones, this time on a quest to find the Holy Grail, and it's filled with thrilling adventures. The Abyss. James Cameron's underwater science fiction film, The Abyss, 1989, takes audiences on a deep-sea journey, combining sci-fi and adventure in a visually stunning way. Disney's The Little Mermaid. Disney's animated classic The Little Mermaid was a huge success, enchanting audiences with its charming story, memorable songs, and beloved characters. Roadhouse. The 1989 action film Roadhouse, starring Patrick Swayze, brought intense barroom brawls to the big screen. Its influence was so significant that it even inspired a comical parody in the TV show Family Guy.
Roadhouse.
Each of these movies offered something unique, from superhero action and archaeology to underwater sci-fi adventures and classic Disney animation, making them a memorable part of 80s cinema. At the cinema, you could have played Cabal on the coin-op machines. Unfortunately, the game wasn't a great success in the arcades, but as a home computer game, it found more success. Playing as a commando viewed from behind, your objective is to destroy various enemies and their military bases. Maneuver through intense firefights, dodge enemy attacks, and strategically eliminate targets, making Cabal an engaging and challenging gaming experience. Speaking of arcade action, Shinobi is another coin-op conversion, and I dare say it's a great one. The controls are well crafted, and the game runs smoothly, giving you an experience almost like being in the arcade. Playing as a shinobi, also known as a ninja, your mission is to rescue hostages from the clutches of the bad guys, and there are plenty of them to contend with. Okay, the next one is a bit controversial, and I might be somewhat biased here. With that disclaimer, I present SimCity from Infogrames. I've spent countless hours playing this game on the Amiga, so I might be a bit overly positive when it comes to the Commodore 64 version. The concept of creating cities with all their glory and problems is fantastic. However, the Commodore 64 has its limitations, or to be more precise, the coders might have faced some challenges in adapting the game for this platform. This might not be the first time this game has been created for the Commodore 64, but the 1989 version of Kix definitely earned its spot on the shortlist. It is a simple, addictive game, a concept you can still find in many mobile and web games today. With its straightforward yet compelling gameplay, Kix remains a classic title that stands the test of time. In Mr. Heli by Firebird, players assume control of an unconventional combat helicopter named Mr. Heli. They engage in intense battles against adversaries, collect power-ups, and vanquish boss encounters to advance through the game's levels. This title is another impressive adaptation from the coin-op arcade halls. Set in 1963, Street Rod by California Dreams puts players in the driver's seat with $750 in a garage. They purchase a used car from classified ads and dive into races to earn money for car upgrades. As they customize their ride, they work their way up the ranks, aiming for a showdown with the king. This classic career game in the automotive genre offers an immersive journey through the world of street racing. Revisit the classic Silkworm by the Sales Curve, offering players the choice of a jeep or helicopter armed with unique weaponry. Encounter diverse enemies with specific vulnerabilities, like the shielded AA guns. Face off against formidable foes like the colossal Goose helicopter, composed of smaller connected vehicles, in this coin-op conversion. If you cranked up the radio, there's no doubt you caught these tunes. Right on Time by Black Box, a dance hit known for its catchy melody and strong beats. Swing the Mood by Jive Bunny and the Master Mixers, a medley of classic rock and roll songs remixed with a swing dance twist. Pump Up the Jam by Technotronic featuring Felly, an iconic dance track, famous for its energetic beat and memorable chorus. Do They Know It's Christmas? By Band-Aid 2, a charity single featuring various artists, released as a follow-up to the original Band-Aid's 1984 Christmas song, raising funds for famine relief in Africa. Poison by Alice Cooper, a rock ballad, known for its edgy lyrics and Cooper's distinctive vocals. Before we get to the final 5, please take a moment to subscribe. It's absolutely free, and your support is greatly appreciated. At number 5, we dive under the sea with Crossout from Rainbow Arts, a horizontally scrolling shooter set underwater. After equipping your submarine, the battle begins against the typical adversaries you must defeat to save the world. The standout feature of this game is the ability to select different weapons with unique characteristics. Number 4 is Terry's Big Adventure from Shades. It is probably inspired by Super Mario Bros., featuring side-scrolling platform gameplay with blocky graphics and numerous ledges to navigate. Terry wields a yo-yo that can be used as a weapon. However, using the yo-yo causes Terry to recoil slightly, so players need to be cautious to avoid unintended movements that might lead to falls or enemy encounters. The Bronze Medalist, my third best game of 1989, is a successor to a game that has been on the list in previous years. I'm, of course, talking about Turbo Outrun. It's time to fire up the old Testarossa and hit the streets once more. Since Outrun, the developers have discovered new ways to extract more from the trusty old bread bin, resulting in a solid and exciting racing game. Alright, we're almost there. For the second spot, I present a game that many would rightfully place at number 1. I completely understand why, as Rick Dangerous is an exceptionally well-crafted platformer. In 1989, this game took players on a perilous adventure with the fearless Rick Dangerous, known for its challenging puzzles and intense action. It's a classic that still holds up as one of the Commodore 64's gems. The only reason I don't have it as number 1 is that there was an extraordinary game that claimed that place. Just before unveiling the number 1 spot, the game that dethroned Rick Dangerous from the very top, I have a request. Please let me know if I've selected the right games for my list. I always appreciate your comments, whether you agree with me or believe I completely missed the mark. So, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. Without further ado, let's move to the number 1 spot, the game you've been eagerly waiting for. It is none other than Stunt Car Racer from Micro Style. This fast-paced racing game, featuring captivating vector graphics, takes you on an adrenaline-fueled journey through various divisions as you strive to become the ultimate racer. What sets it apart from conventional racing games are its unconventional tracks, filled with daring jumps and challenging turns, providing a thrilling and unique racing experience. Stunt Car Racer not only tests your driving skills but also your strategic thinking as you navigate the treacherous terrain, ensuring you don't wreck the car. The game's career mode is incredibly addictive, keeping you engaged for hours as you progress through the ranks, unlock new tracks, and face tougher opponents. Once again, thank you so much for watching. As mentioned before, please share your thoughts about the video in the comments. See you in the next video.